It's time to amp it up. Hi there, and welcome to another Random Distractions home theater video. And as you can tell from the title, there's been a new addition to the home theater, the Emotiva BasX A5. I wanted to give you my thoughts on why I chose this amp and a little shopping tip. First, the price. My total after tax was $646.92 for a 5-channel amp with 95 watts, all channels driven at 8 ohms. It is also rated at 120 watts into 2 channels at 8 ohms. The second point revolves around its power output. As I mentioned before, I have the Pioneer Andrew Jones speakers, and while the towers are rated at 130 watts, the center channel is only rated at 90 watts max, while the bookshelves are rated at 80 watts max. In addition to that, I happened to come across a video from another YouTuber called Home Theater Gurus, and he had one called How Much Power Do You Need? Based on the formula he provided, the sensitivity of my speakers, and how everything was set up, I was able to come up with a really rough estimate of how much power my speakers needed and the estimated output that they would give. What I came up with is that around 64 watts, each speaker was close to 100 dBs in output, 99, 97, somewhere around there. And that's really louder than I ever push my system. I'm usually closer to 80, 85 dB. So even though 95 watts doesn't seem like much, I think for the system that I have, it's more than enough. And what I'm really hoping for is just to take the workload off of the Anthem MRX 1140 from driving the speakers and having the amp provide more powerful, consistent wattage to the speakers, which will in turn hopefully provide a fuller response or sound from the speakers. Who knows, maybe in the future I may decide that I need more power, which in that case I can purchase an A2 or an A3 to provide more power to the front stage, and then use the BasX A5 to power the rest of the speakers and maybe even additional height speakers if I need to. I do want to test out something though when I test this out. This would negate reducing the workload to my receiver, but I'm wondering what would happen if I left the front, left and right towers connected to the receiver and then use the amp for the backs and the heights and the center channel. The Anthem is rated at 140 watts per channel into 2 channels driven, so that would provide more power to at least the front 2 towers. Again though, that wouldn't really take any load off of the receiver because it'll be trying to pump out 140 watts to each channel. However, if I do use the amp to drive all 5 speakers and only have the receiver worry about the 2 high channels, I also have a profile on the Anthem that switches over to 2-channel playback. This would in turn provide more power from the amp to the front tower speakers. Let me know in the comments what you would do in that situation, but I will have a video kind of share my results later on. Now let's take a look and see what's inside the box. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get this guy open. First off is the amp. And it looks like it's double boxed. Alright, and I think this is the bottom here, so let's do that. Alright, looks like we got the power cable and then the trigger cable. Oh, and then it looks like we have 2 fuses there. And in here it looks like we have the Emotiva BasX user manual. It comes in a nice little bag here. Alright, and there's the amp. The Emotiva BasX A5. Pretty solid for sure. And I do like the look of the front there. It's pretty nice. It should match well with everything else. There's the back, the binding post, the inputs, the trigger, the status LEDs on and off switch, the power button, and that's where the power cable hooks in. And so then the other thing that I got are, of course, some cables for it. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 5 channels. And that's what those look like. Go ahead and open one up. Alright, they seem pretty flexible and they have the Emotiva logo on there. I don't know if these are locking or not, but they're a little bit loose. So I don't know if you Put that in there and then lock them in maybe, but they make a pretty firm connection. All right, that's the unboxing. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing what this will do for my system, so stay tuned for that follow-up video. I also wanted to mention a quick shopping tip. If you're watching this in November of 2021, Emotiva currently has a special going that for orders over $100, they're going to give you Emo Bucks. I think it's around 20% of your purchase. It is provided immediately after your purchase via an email with a coupon code. What I did was I first purchased the amplifier, which gave me a little over $100 in Emo Bucks that I could use. And since I needed the RCA cables to be able to connect the amp to my receiver, I went back to the Emotiva site and put 5 cables in there, used the coupon code, and the only thing I had to pay was for shipping, so I got those 5 cables for about a little bit less than $9 total. The cables look pretty good, so not bad. So my suggestion or tip is that if you are going to buy more than one thing, or if you need cables or something like that, then I would suggest making your big purchase first, getting that coupon code, and then using it for a second order and using up those Emo Bucks. That's all I have for now for this video. It's going to be releasing a little bit before Thanksgiving, so I hope you all enjoy some good food and some good time with family. Would of course appreciate a like on this video, and make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll know when the next one drops. And until then, I hope you have a good one.